Okay, so if we check out our list, the first thing we got to do to make this a reality is make empty petri dishes, which should be as easy as spreading this further down. So let's do that real quick. So I claimed my tileable design would be as easy as copying this and pasting it right here, which it seems to be doing well. Okay, so now we are making petri dishes, and we can bring the petri dish up and into this line so that I can meet us at the garden. Ooh, well, I guess not the garden. We are adding it to its own location, but we will add this little moondrop maker to the garden right here, like that. Perfect. Yep, and then again, just got to expand the decorations to go with it. And there we go, garden's updated. We have the moondrop maker. Now we have to build the first moondrop, which is making the little area that has a petri dish. And I've decided I'm going to put that underneath, probably right over here. Okay, so this is the location that we're going to make the first moondrop. It'll be right here next to the, or yeah, just right down here underneath the bus. And let's go ahead and build everything. Here we go. We should be placing the seaweed down, and look, there we go. We put in the 10 modules, and we can put this seaweed in for now. Let's make the last boiler, and then connect up the water, and then we should be good to make our first moondrop. Okay, so we are ready for the inputs, which means we can plug in this petri dish right here. And then we can also plug in the fuel. So we have a nice star. The fuel goes up and down. And here you can see that we have ash going into both the dedicated ash line and into this multi-purpose line. That's because this dedicated ash line is going to fill up at some point because there's nothing consuming ash down the line except for, you know, the dedicated garden area. But that is not going to consume a ton of ash. What I mean is we don't have ash recycling set up. So what'll happen is hopefully we'll get ash recycling set up at some point and we can remove this, but for now, when this ash backs up, it'll send the ash to the left so that it can get recycled by our ash recycling facility right over here. But anyways, the inputs are almost in, so let's go ahead and wait for that. Okay, so here come the empty petri dishes. Okay, so the empty petri dishes are going in. Oh, this still does not have water for some reason. Let's fix that. Okay, so now the seaweed is plugged in, and then when it produces its first bit of seaweed, it'll go in here, or I guess we already put seaweed in here, but now the steam is filling this up to produce our first agar, which will produce our first petri dish, which will feed into here, and then from here we can handcraft the moondrop codex if we had iron, which I will go ahead and grab. Okay, so I've gone ahead and grabbed some planter boxes to put in here, and we are crafting the moondrop codexes, so we should be getting our very first pieces of moondrop very soon. The agar is in here, good, it's placed in here, and the petri dish is in here as well. So is there a reason this is not inserting? Oh, this is because it's blacklisted. Let's whitelist that. And now we have the petri dish in here, and we have our crafted codex. So here we go. We will be crafting our very first moondrop very soon. And then up next, we are going to want to go ahead and build formaldehyde. So where is that? That is this one. This is formaldehyde. So we're going to have to build up a lot of moondrop first. So we'll take the moondrop that we make here and put it in our garden for our moondrop making. And we can loop it until we have, I think we need like 80 or so. How many buildings are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 buildings times 20. We need 180. We need 180 moondrop first, so it'll loop for a bit. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and build the actual formaldehyde and the other groups that we need to make. And then again, once we're done with the moondrop, we can take apart this botanical nursery and just leave this here to build up petri dishes, or I guess we'll just leave it inactive for the time being. Okay, like we said, next up we are going to make formaldehyde, and I'm figuring out where to jam it in right now. Well, I don't really have that much space, so I think I'm just going to jam it in right here. And that leaves a little bit of room on the bottom side, but I guess most of our room is left on the top side. So let's go ahead and continue building this. Oh, look at that! There is an achievement for the first moondrop. Oh, it's at the bottom here, flora and fauna. I guess that's our first flora and fauna completed at 74 hours and 30 minutes. Alright, so while we're building formaldehyde, our moondrop has come in, so we'll take these 8 moondrops, and we'll put it in here. Oh, how many do we need? We need 5? Okay, so we'll take you, we'll put the maximum amount that we can in here, and we'll just have it start looping. It'll be very slow, but it'll start looping a little bit. In the meantime, we can go ahead and just make some more codexes. But it only gets faster and faster. Actually, we need to leave one of these in here because this only produces 4 and this needs 5 to activate. But again, we are waiting for a moondrop to loop, and right now we are setting up formaldehyde. We can see here that we actually finished this, which is empty petri dishes. We have that done now. I guess we could say formaldehyde is in progress. Dedicated belt of fuel is something we still need to work on. Treated wood is not done yet. So yeah, I mean, again, let's just continue looping and building. So again, we're going through a bit of a fuel source drought, which is why we're not really making that much iron ore. And in order to combat this, I've turned off the raw coal going to the tar and coal gas production for the glassworks area, because that's not really a high priority. Right now, what we really need most is iron, which has got me excited because, as you can see here, our stone backlog is almost gone. Our stone is being consumed at a steady rate from the planter boxes in the garden area. The planter boxes consume stone, and also the trees consume stone as well, because we need moss, and moss consume stone. So we've been consuming it at a steady rate, and pretty soon we'll see all our stone backlog gone, and we'll be able to use the stone from our mine, which means that our kerogen will be free. And kerogen is, again, very good because it's a burnable fuel source for us. So by making the garden, we're going to free up our stone so that we can use kerogen as a burnable source to almost help put an end to our fuel drought. Because again, it's being consumed, I mean, not being consumed, we just don't have much at all. Also, again, I very recently learned about this other concrete, so I will be making a chest full of that as well. Oh, it's just as I said, we finished going through the stone, and our normal stone is being pulled from the stone mine, and we are getting heaps of kerogen being released, which is great. We can follow the kerogen back to the base, and hopefully it has a positive or a significant impact on our burnable fuel drought. Okay, so I have just placed the last 2 moondrops, moondrop greenhouses. So formaldehyde is complete, except for, of course, the moondrops that we are still looping here. But these will loop for a while. And so while we finish up formaldehyde, the next thing we should work on is treated wood. So let's go ahead and put that down. As it turns out, again, everything I build is just so much bigger than I think it's going to be. But treated wood is massive, and it fits perfectly right here. So this is where it'll go. So let's build this next. A good byproduct of treated wood is that it produces coke, which is always nice. It also produces other burnable gases, which I will go over and add to our glass section right after we get flow control. Nice, releasing that kerogen again. Releasing that kerogen really got us up and running again. The iron is at full speed. Here we go, we've looped enough that we can start looping this one. So we just put 5 moondrops in here. Then I guess we'll split it off to do both one in here and one in here. And then we'll continue looping down here as well. It is crazy how quickly this problem flips and flops back. Now we have too much kerogen. So, I mean, this is pretty easy to solve. We just flip this around and turn on the raw coal again over here to get rid of some of our fuel. Okay, so I finished the spaghetti it's not as big a spaghetti as normal, but I finished the spaghetti intersection for our treated wood, and yeah, we're still building it. We're still looping moondrops. Okay, we have finished treated wood. So I guess the next thing we can do is plug it in, or I guess as soon as we finish building all these belts, we can plug it in. Okay, so I'm about to plug this in, but before I plug it in, I forgot to realize that I never explained it, so this is how it works. Tar comes in, it spits out bing bang boom, a bunch of different liquids. One of them is a red liquid comes in, spits out bing bang boom, more liquids, okay? One of them is this green thing, and the other one is this thing with 2 rings, right? So we come here and we consume the green thing, make creosote. We consume this thing with 2 rings, make more creosote. Also, the first thing, bing bang boom, made creosote. Now the creosote goes in here and it's used for the treated wood. What else does this make? It makes pitch. Pitch goes up here, makes bing bang boom bang bang. A lot of other stuff, but we take 2 of the things with 2 rings and we put it back in this thing, this one, to make more creosote. And that's basically how it works. And then there's a bunch of extra byproducts and there's some coke, and the steam is required for a lot of the machines. I also never explained how this one works. So this is how this one works. This one has gives out moondrop seeds. Moondrop seeds get consumed to make moondrop. Infinite loop, great. Infinite stuff, great. And then up here, we take the moondrop seeds and we turn it into methane. Turn methane into formaldehyde when combined with copper. Realize I don't have a copper line in here. I will fix that. But also, the carbon dioxide comes from coke. Easy. Here it goes. My bus is connecting up to the spaghetti interchange. This one needs help. There's not much spaghetti, to be honest, but it's going through the interchange. Anyways, here is my treated wood being turned on for the first time. I never connected tar up. Okay, here we go. We're turning formaldehyde on for the first time. So this is a treated wood block, but if you remove this one place and the wood coming in, it actually is a creosote block. So that is like the Scooby-Doo mask reveal of what has just happened. But yeah, let's just go ahead and enjoy watching it. And there we go. We are watching some of the treated wood come out. So there it is. Treated wood is hiding in the underground belt, just waiting for it to come out. And there it is. Treated wood. We've now added treated wood to the line. Okay, so again, this is very exciting. This is a lot of the ingredients, so let's go ahead and check some stuff off the list. Formaldehyde is now complete. We have treated wood. Formaldehyde is not complete. That is in process. Treated wood is complete now. And now we really just need to finish looping moondrops from formaldehyde, and actually right now we need to go ahead and build the sap. It's pretty fitting to have the sap right next to the garden, and we'll just fit it in like this. And it looks good to me. So let's go ahead and clear it up and build it out. Yum, 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 yum. Look at that sushi belt. Okay, so we have finished looping moondrops for this area, and now we're adding moondrops into these buildings, which means I guess we've officially turned it on. This will produce methane, which will be fed into here for formaldehyde. Combined with copper plate, and then we'll have formaldehyde for the first time. Okay, so we are placing down the last 4 sap extractors, and all that's left now is to pick up 80 sap trees from hopefully our garden's been busy making enough. We need 80, and perfect, we have way more than enough. And there we go, 80 in our inventory, and our bot should go ahead and take it out of my inventory and place it into all these trees to start producing all that sap. And there we go, our sap tree farm is up and going. And it's producing the sap that we need, and it'll come down this line and down here. Again, the treated wood is done. Formaldehyde is almost done. Again, I'm just looping the moondrops a little bit more. And then the last thing we need to make is the simple circuit substrate itself, which is right here. And the only place I can seem to fit it on the map is right here, like this. So let's go ahead and work on simple circuit substrate, and then we'll have all our components for the first simple circuit board. Alright, this is the last moondrop, and now, I guess there's already moondrop in there. I thought this was the last moondrop, but now we have officially finished formaldehyde. Again, we are just currently building the basic circuit substrate, and then we should be good to make our first simple circuit board. Okay, I was about to say that I'm almost finished. You know, I have a couple hundred iron in my inventory, and I just need to build a PCB factory. But the PCB factory costs me 1.5k iron, which is absolute insanity. But anyways, I need to go ahead and build that up real quick. Okay, we are counting down the seconds down here until we make the PCB the final ingredient to make our printed circuit substrate. And it's going pretty quickly, and it should be placed automatically. Oh, let's see who places it. Okay, one of the Vanguard. Thank you. But yeah, with that, our printed circuit substrate is ready. So we can go ahead and plug this in for the very first time and plug in our simple circuit substrate machine and produce it. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. The PCB is consuming the copper plates. We got the pulp. I think they're called pulp mixers. The pulp mills taking in the sap and combining it with the raw fibers, which are being turned into raw fiber from the wood processing units. It's also combining with the formaldehyde and the treated wood, which should be coming in soon. To produce our first formica, and the formica will be used to make the printed circuit substrate. Tier 1. Here it is. We can see the pulp mill putting the first bit of formica in there. I think just a few more, and then we should be good to go. Can't wait to see the animation for the printed circuit substrate. Oh, look at that! Oh my god, it looks really cool. Oh. There it is. There's our first printed circuit substrate. All right. So that has been a humongous journey. But now we have simple circuit substrate. We are right at the finish line. We have one more thing left to make, and that is the simple circuit board. But again, in order to make the simple circuit board, I need 20 printed circuit substrates in order to make the chip shooter, which makes it. But otherwise, it's just one building. So we could plop it down. We're going to plop it down right over here, probably, and have all these inputs go in and have the outputs go out. Very, very close to our season goal here, guys. All right, we are waiting on one more simple circuit substrate until we have 20 to make our chip shooter. And here it is. Let's make the chip shooter. Oh god, we need a lot of iron and copper. Okay, now that we have our chip shooter, it's time to unveil. Like chip shooters are very small machines. It's time to unveil the little blueprint I made for it. And whoa! Maybe I overbuilt it a little bit, but it's a very special building. Oh, and it fits right in here. Perfect. I will place it right here. And it lines up with the back, but let's go ahead and build this and then get our first simple circuit board. So excited for this. Man, I ran out of grappling hooks right at the finish line. I'm so slow. And here we go. We are right at the finish line, about to make our first simple circuit board after the colossal task of gathering together these 7 ingredients: solder, vacuum tube, printed circuit substrate tier 1, high power resistor, air core inductor, ceramic capacitors, and copper zinc batteries on these 4 belts. We are going to unleash them for the very first time. And let's go ahead and watch our first simple circuit board ever being made. Here they come, underneath the belts. Underneath the signs that say simple circuit boards, and bam, they are inside. We can see what it looks like. The printed circuit substrate is being designed. Oh, the first simple circuit board has been made in 77 hours, 29 minutes, and 26 seconds. Pardon me, I'm sick, but this is a fantastic moment. We have finally, and this thing produces them fast too. I'm telling you, I made this whole factory to produce one every 2 seconds, or was it 2 every 1 second? We can check. No, we can't. I don't know. I think it's 1 every 2 seconds. Currently limited by the printed circuit substrate, which is limited by the treated wood because of the amount of fuel we have here. But I mean, this is something. We can get fuel. We can fix this. I know. I mean, I already have the idea. We're gonna get the fuel by removing this power group here and sending raw coal that I I used to send raw coal out, then back in, then out, then in, and then I removed it, and now I'm going to send raw coal back in again with simple circuit boards. The fuel issues that we're having in our base can be solved with simple circuit boards. A lot of balancing issues, flow, solved with simple circuit boards. In fact, I have this list of things that I could solve with simple circuit boards, and a lot of cool things that I'm going to be crafting first. First of all, it's not even on the list, but radars will be useful, so I could finally see what's going on the map. I could finally show you the combat that's happening at the defense fronts. The valves, again, this is for flow control, so we can finally have correct byproducts or fluid byproducts management, fluid byproduct logistic management. Splitters, obviously very welcome. I've been using my janky box splitters for a long time, and even some of those splitters with the belts, the belt splitter things I do over here, which are cursed, right? Stacking belt boxes, this is how I'm going to save my burnable fuels. Again, this is because everything that comes in, I still want it to be on one belt, but it'll be more condensed. I'll bring raw coal in. It'll be nice and condensed, and it'll follow along the same line and have enough fuel for everything. Glowing lamps is going to be fun. Electric inserters is also good. Again, I'm just so excited to finally have our... Look at that! Oh, we have 175 already. But, I mean, yeah, that is insane. We have simple circuit boards. As much fun as simple circuit boards is, this will probably wrap up our season. So let's go ahead and visit the roadmap for one final time. We finished SAP a long time ago, so SAP is good. Formaldehyde, you are all set. Dedicated belt of fuel is not done yet and won't be done for a while. Dealing with byproducts is not done yet either. But we have here printed circuit substrate done. And finally, the goal of this entire season was to make the simple circuit board. And let's snap it right there and send it to back. But the simple circuit board is finally completed. That is Season 2. As we can see here, this is our entire Season 2 map. Gigantic. This is our Season 1 map. Again, I use it only when it gets confusing, when there's multiple paths to take. So I didn't use it as much near the end since I had a pretty single goal, you know, like high power resistor. I didn't have to put in everything before that, or vacuum tube or solder, because I knew, oh, I'm designing high power resistor right now. But again, I mean, a lot of work done here, and that is the end of Season 2. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys in the Season 2 base tour and retrospect. And I can't think of any better way to end the season right here, other than right here. So let's give it up for John Boy. John Boy was my first patron. I've got John Boy and his 5 Vanguard here. These were named after our old Dota 2 stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us, and then one of us was a manager. So thank you, John Boy, for being one of my patrons. Thank you for all your support. And thank you, Ima, for all your support. Again, so when you sign on to become a patron, one of the benefits is that I immortalize you in the game. John Boy has chosen to be immortalized in the form of a companion drone, and I've made the other 5. I made the Vanguard for fun. Ima likes the forestries in the Pie mod, so I've made this lumberyard. I've made a lumberyard and named it after Ima. So once again, thank you guys so much for being my patrons, and I'll see you guys in Season 3. Oh, and by Season 3, I mean in the Season 2 base tour and season retrospect. See you guys there.